I'm Transformers fan G138, and this is my video review on Transformers Timelines, aka Collector's Club, Astrotrain. And right off the bat, this guy is one of my favorite club exclusives they've ever done, simply because he's massive. He really is enormous, and it's really awesome for that feature in general. But it uses the Transformers Armada Jetfire mold. And Jetfire himself was actually an homage to, or an homage, if you really want to pronounce it that way, was an homage to the Transformers Victory space shuttle. What was the name? Galaxy Shuttle. There. Thank you. Wow. I'm horrible. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. My tripod's not really cooperating. So, yeah. And that might stay put. Sorry about the shaky video, but anyway, this guy is amazing. So, right off the bat, it's just shocking. He's got his regular colors instead of the, where did this come from, the white repaints we're getting from Hasbro, and all the white, like even the reissue was white instead of gray and purple. I don't get it, but whatever. That's an argument for a different time. So this is pretty cool. He has his 3 thrusters, or 4 thrusters actually. He's got his wing-mounted sound effects, which are cool. They're different from Jetfire's. I don't have any batteries for Jetfire, because they're the old button-style batteries. But he's got his missile pods. I'm not really going to show you those, because they're kind of a horrible feature on the original stuff. He does have landing gear that folds out here, as well as the Minicon clips on there. So he's got landing gear. It doesn't particularly roll well, but whatever. Also, a cool hidden feature of the mold is if you transform him in rocket mode with his arms down, he's got a lot of extra space inside. And that's neat because, if we open this up, the Collector's Club exclusive actually came with 3 additional Minicons. Astro-hook, Astro-line, and, if I can get him out of there, Astro-sinker, which is a name sinker because of the, submarine mode. So, yeah. Inside, he's got these, you're probably having a hard time seeing this on the video. He's got all these etchings right molded in, same as Jetfire. He's got all these, like, computer displays, satellite images. It's really cool. So, and on this side, nothing. So, but it's neat on that aspect of it. So you can actually, place the Minicons in here. It's actually room for all 3, as you just saw. Put Astro-sinker in here, and then the other 2 in here. Yep. So the arms can fold up into here. I'm just not going to show that for the sake of time. So that just closes back up, and you have this. So actually, there's a Minicon feature, which I'll show you with this Minicon, since the other one's acting as landing gear right now. If you put it on this spot, you actually pop up some wings. Interestingly enough, it also changes the sound effect of the gun. It's normal gun mode. Pop the Minicon on. Off. On. It does not, however, change the opposite one. Now, interestingly enough, on the Jetfire mold, when you stem like this, you do a countdown, and then like rocket engines. This one has some sort of that's kind of like explosion, then scanning, and then it's like he's blasting all the bad guys, or the good guys in this case, inside, which is nifty. So yeah. So when you activate the Minicon port, it changes that, pops these wings up. I usually keep them up all the time because they generally pop out on their own. Defect of the mold. Now, another interesting feature when they redid this figure, if I'll pop off the shield here, which also acts as landing gear. Originally, I actually have the other Jetfire, but I'm not. He's so far back on the shelf right now, I'm not going to get him. His Autobot symbol was molded onto here, so it was embossed, like you could feel it. It's there. This one, they figured out how to remold it so it's completely smooth. So you don't have any Autobot logo there, which is really cool because I was worried about that originally when I purchased it. So I'm going to show off the mini-cons here for a minute. Like, this is the one that came with the mold originally that acts as landing gear. So that's a cool aspect. From landing gear, it can turn into some sort of weird cannon rover thing. And it honestly looks a little bit like Shockwave to me, especially the first one. So, like, you know, when I was a kid and I just didn't have all these figures, I would take the mini-cons that looked like each other and call them what they weren't, so. He's got wheels for feet, he's got this cannon, he has mobility here, he can move up or down, he's got the satellite dish thingy here. So, he's pretty cool looking. Then you got Astro-line, who's a jet and has friction missiles. Friction peg missiles, which sometimes work depending if your hand's in the way or not. So I'm not going to chance losing it behind there, but because there's a board that's loose and they tend to fall there just to spite me. So that's nice. You can transform them. You just do some maneuvering of him, you know, just feet. This one I find I have a little trouble standing up just because of his feet. But this is actually my favorite set of mini-cons that they recolored. So I really did like the mini-cons before I bought this too. So that helped. Especially with the price. Although I did get it for like ridiculous like $57 instead of $87 with a free Aerozor figure. And that's interesting because the Aerozor figure was $47 and Astrotrain was $87. So yeah, I got them both for $57. Okay, so that's nice. Then you got Astro-sinker, which is another one of my favorites. Which, by the way, if you take this guy and put him back in plane mode for a second, I should have showed you this before, but me not having any foresight today, didn't think of that. So just pop it back like that. I'll put that down. These will actually peg in, and you can bring down the missile and have like a flying tanker mode. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. So that aside, pop these out, pull these down. These are his arms. His head is there. He actually kind of reminds me of Omega Supreme, to be honest. Just the way he looks. More so the gray version of him that I have. But, you know, he's got arms here. But these just look like some massive cannons. If you pull them down, that'd be kind of cool. So, yeah. There's some cool options. And then there is Astro-hook, which is kind of awesome. So, that just kind of, it's, so, you know, they got the whole land, sea, air thing going on this one. So the legs would turn this way. So this guy actually looks pretty cool. He looks like a Generation 2 Constructicon, actually. Where the other one looked like a Generation 1 Constructicon, the green version of this. So it's pretty cool. He's got an arm here. He's got an arm here. He looks pretty awesome. He's one of my favorites. So that aside, get back to this guy a little bit. The only downside of this entire mold in use of Astrotrain, sorry about that, I keep hitting that, is the fact that he does not turn into a train, but I think his size more than compensates for it, in my opinion. Of course, others have different opinions, and that's probably one of the reasons he didn't sell well. That, and the same year they released this, 2007, Hasbro decided to release this. Why did they release this in such close proximity to this? I don't know. So maybe the Collectors Club in the future will do a different coloring of this, like maybe the Takara version of it or something. I don't know. Probably not though. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy in robot mode. This is a very long review version, but just because he's got a lot of different parts to him, but it's going to be awesome. I really do like this figure. So I'll get him in robot mode. And here he is in robot mode. Sorry, but he's so huge I'm having trouble fitting him in the frame of the camera. So in this mode, he's got some awesome articulation. Down here on the foot, he's got side-to-side rotation. He's also got a little bit of movement here. Not too horribly much. He's got knee joint as well as a swivel up by the hip. However, he does not rotate forward or backward on the hip. That is a Hasbro problem. Also, you can, if you want larger kneecaps, you can flip this around and have larger kneecaps, but I think that detracts, personally. These can go in or out, doesn't matter. If you want to pop them out in this mode, you can hit the button here, which is what the Minicon port hits. So, and that's not locked into place. So, yeah, that's okay. He's got a ratchet arm, which this kind of gets in the way a little bit, but that can just be moved out of the way. He's got a ratchet up and down here. It almost gives the appearance of ball and socket joint, but it isn't. It's got a hinge there. It's got a nice friction joint here, as well as a swivel in the hand, which is nice. So, which is nice, sorry if that sounded like it isn't nice. I said it is. And you know. So he's got a head swivel too, which has some movement down. So you can get him like looking down upon the Autobots, like. Anyway, so yeah, I'm having a little too much fun with this review. Now the gun itself, yeah, I know, I keep hitting that. That one was intentional though. Can plug into the arm here, or directly into his hand. And his shield can plug into the Minicon port on the opposite side. Or any of his Minicons can also plug into that port, or these ports up here. So you got some options. But as I just transformed all of them in robot mode, except for the plane, which I can show, you know, give him extra missiles here. That's kind of cool, you know, give him a missile launching, like, crossbow looking thing on his arm. Yeah, not my personal favorite, but, you know. So yeah, that's kind of neat. You know, I really do like, if you don't like the wings there, you can move them down like this. You know, you have some options with them. You know, you can do a couple small things with them, you know, rotate them around. But I just like leaving up like the Jetfire mold. I'm going to just put that to the side before I hit that again. Overall, though, I really like this mold. And another thing I'd really like, if they did if Hasbro had released Nemesis Prime in the full-sized Super Optimus Prime mold. Reason being, simply because he had a trailer in the show, and yeah, I actually went out and bought the smaller Optimus after I got the Nemesis Prime, just so I could have a matching set. And this Decepticon jet could transform and combine with the Nemesis Prime, but alas, he can't. But yet he can still combine with Optimus Prime, so yeah, that's cool. If you really wanted to do that, you can. You know, give him a different look. It looked good with that black version of Optimus. So, I love the paint apps here. It's designed to be kind of like this in robot mode on the package. I don't like that. Like here. He's got some nice paint apps. All of them are on nice and smooth, and this is a really hardy figure. This is like one of the most well done Collectors Club's exclusives, and which is why I don't understand why he didn't sell well. Actually, it was this guy here that made me wait to get Punch Counter Punch. I didn't snag him fast enough because I'm like, oh, he'll go on sale in like a year. Yeah, big mistake. He sold out in like 5 minutes. Not quite, but he sold out in like an hour. So I'm like, okay, I had the option of buying them, didn't. So about kind of they announced the second run of Punch Counter Punch, and I managed to snag one of them. And so from now on, I don't wait on the club exclusives, and I wouldn't either if you're a member of the club. So, yeah. So if you're not a member of the club, join, because they do some really awesome exclusives. And again, that is not a paid advertisement. I just don't want issues with that. So. Yep, if you have any further questions about this guy, please post in the comments down below, blah, blah, blah. And if you have any video review requests of you want me to review any of my toys at all, I have a ton of them. Check out my collection video. It's up on my channel currently. And if you want me to review any of them, also post down in the comments or send me a message, and I will add them to the list. The list is not horribly too long at the moment. I got a lot of Transformers Prime stuff that I'm going to review anyway, but if you request them, I'll do them faster. Also, so yeah, that concludes my video review of Transformers Timelines Astrotrain and Minicon. Yeah, so thanks for watching.